So if we as women,
and they do have that extra time because they are the men, they can up and go at will, but you are a woman. You have to be the wife, you have to be the mother, the caring sister, the caring daughter.
Because you cannot give these excuses. If you must be a successful story, you cannot
afford it.
If they are doing 50% to achieve, you do 70, you do 80. Because it's about your life, it's about your passion. I am a married woman with 2 children. I have 2 beautiful daughters. I have family, I have my mother, I have people who look up to me. So I have enough, more than enough reason to say, look, I'm not doing this thing. After all, I have a husband to tend to, I have children to tend to, I have family. No, but I've told myself I can do this. So what I do, I go extra mile. If I'm to wake up at 5 o'clock normally, like a normal man would do, I'll wake up at 3:30. Yes. If a man will stay in the studio for 1 hour, I will stay in the studio for 2 hours or more. So at the end of the day, you find yourself on the
You find a way to balance.
Yeah.
Balance out. Wow. But then, for you, what has been the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge for me would be not like support, family support. I have that. In the industry right now, I am a musician. I do music. I do gospel, inspirational music. It is a loss, no matter the journey. To be frank, any good music is expensive to maintain, especially in Nigeria right now. And when you do not have, when I mean a label, you do not have a management support and all of that. And all of this, come very, very difficult. So a lot of the time, I've had to do stuff myself. I've had to work extra to build a fund. I've had to, sometimes I probably want to go for just 2 events, but there are 4 events calling. Come on, the extra money, you push yourself, some more to go for the show so that you can get, more money. So it will be that support in the industry, so to say. We need financials, we need support, and anybody watching me, come and support this brand new. So that's basically my job.
All right, but then, in your opinion, do you think the society even allows for women to thrive, regardless of the fact that they might have a talent? But the way society perceives a woman in certain areas, do you think it allows for a woman to give her very best?
Well, it is something that we can even see in the Bible. The Bible calls us weaker persons. Not in that sense, the way people are taking it. Like, okay, because the Bible says we are weak, then, women. It's so bad that when you're driving and the same mistake a man will make while driving, because it's a woman, they say, it's a woman said, I get that, come on.
It's like putting us in a class of people who can function.
But I will still tell anybody, I will still tell anyone, you have in fact, really, we are actually stronger than the men. A woman can be thinking about 10 things at the same time and she's going to achieve them one. A man is not, a man just think about, I want to go this way, like that. A woman is thinking, sometimes I'm driving, my husband is driving, I'm already thinking of 10 ways to get to where I'm going faster. I'm telling you, but for a man, just going straight. So it doesn't matter how the society perceives us as weak, as soft. You can be strong. You can still achieve so much more. So no matter what anybody's saying, you can. It is a possibility. So just look that direction.
Yeah. So finding that inner strength is what will make the difference.
Yes.
Now you found yours. Did you find it quite easily, or what work really did you have to do on yourself for you to recognize that inner strength, that innate power within you as a woman? What did you have to do?
First of all, I recognized the fact that I had a passion, which is to first of all to help people, because I have that passion. I have passion to sing. I have passion to. Okay, let me just leave it like the 2. First of all, I had to recognize that it is very easy for me to do these things. You understand? Finding your passion, finding your place of comfort, is to look at the areas where you find yourself doing these things very easily. For me, it's not difficult for me to help people, to be honest. I don't think twice about it. So when you see areas where it's very easy for you to function, just know something in a way, that's where God wants you to work.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you find that spot, it's very easy. You must, for some people it is selling clothes, for some people it is selling houses, for some people it is whatever trade, you find yourself doing it with so much joy.
Effortlessly, and you're happy.
You're happy doing it. So once you get to that point, trust me, everything will be you will not have to struggle, even though you need to work on yourself. Because I had to do that. In my music, I had to do a lot of work. I had to study. I had to do studies, do research about kind of music I do and how I want people to see my music and all of that. I didn't sit down because I like to sing. I had to develop that passion I had, and it has helped me.
Okay. Now, I do recall when you came into the industry and all years ago and all of that, and a lot has happened, down the line. For instance, because that is part of living. Loss is part of existing as a human being. We all come in contact with it once in a while. And in following your journey, you have also experienced a huge loss that we must know how you cope with that. Because for some people, when they lose someone they love like that, it throws them off, and recovering can be a big deal. One of the people who started you off in this industry, Kefi of blessed memory, died not too long ago, and I know that affected you. How did it strike you, and how did you cope with that loss?
To be honest, I never saw it coming. Losing Kefi, I would say it was okay. How going to be? I never saw it. It wasn't something that I ever imagined, because Kefi was one very strong person. She was one person who really, because I grew up in the north, I grew up in Kano, and when I started music, my very first song was, Kefi was on the song, so she showed me, okay, do it like this, since you're not in Lagos, do it like that. So I would say she was more like my eyes. She held my hands and, really pulled me into the industry and said, you can't do this and all of that. So for me, we built a very strong bond, like an amazing bond. And when everything was happening for a year, before people even got to know that, I just thought, okay, it was a phase. She will overcome and she will get through this, this whole drama. And eventually, when she died, I will not lie, I practically broke that. I was not in the country. Wherever, when the news got to me, I was in the middle of people. I broke. It was terrible. And for a while, for a long while, I wouldn't say I asked God questions, because I am a Christian and I understand what it means when believers go to be with the Lord. We were not supposed to mourn in that sense, but it was painful. That sudden tear, that sudden departure was terrible. But somehow God helped me. It took me a year plus. It's not like I've got to know. When I talk about her sometimes,
we don't get over it like that. But
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. Even while she was away, and when she died, Kefi was one person who set out to do something. Even when you tell her, you try to give her, she always sees the possibility in every impossible situation. She tells you.
And judging from her frame,
because she was a very strong.
I'm happy we're talking about her laughing, because she was that kind of a person who was always happy, and I can't recall her ever, and we spoke like a week before she passed on, and for me that was huge, But why we talked about this loss is because a lot of times when you're getting started in life, things like that can throw you off. And then you just lose it and be like, what the heck? Let me just, relax. It can be. Yeah. But especially to someone that had that kind of influence. Okay, on you. All right, so you have the tenacity to always, hide and then come back, hide and come back. It's right. It's like because I came a fashionista now.
Yeah. I have always been.
You know what I mean? The business side of
great.
Yes.
I told you, my passion is not just to sing and sing.
Yeah.
So we discover ourselves along the line and everything. We discover ourselves. I found out, my mother used to be, she reached the clothier and she used to sell and everything. But I just even now, like there's something burning in me, and that is styling gospel musicians.
Ooh, that would be nice.
During their videos, because sometimes I sit down and I know I'm not a judgmental person, but I just see something and I'm like, no. She should have right. This hair is not good. I'm not like, come on. I said, no, but why is seriously? If this girl had done this like that, and so fashion business for me is also part of my calling, because you cannot, the way you are dressed really determines how people, before people know you are Mrs. this and this is that. And I said, oh, she's actually married. They want to look at you first. When you step out, what kind of clothes do you have on as a married woman? As a music minister, as a person in general, let me not put it to the church. As a person, as a woman, how do you want people to see you? Because that's for me, that if I'm stepping out of my house, how do I want to be approached? How do I want to be assessed? How do I want to be perceived? So that's true. That pushed me to doing the fashion clothing business. And God has helped me to use that to help my audience. So they will tell me, oh my God, and if you were not here, oh my God. I have one person who told me, now people go to her page on Instagram they go to her page to look at what she's wearing. They go to her page to see what shoes she's wearing. And she tells them all of this is as a result of my, interaction with Anny. Anny has changed my life. So it's all part of it. It's all